So I made a video on Racing Lagoon several days ago, and I said that I want the game to be translated one day. And it got me thinking, are there other Japanese games that I wish are translated? So here they are. The games I'll mention are ones I currently have on me, and I've tried them for some time that I think there's something interesting to them. I don't have an extensive Japanese game collection right now, so I do apologize if I didn't mention a game you wanted to be translated. Aconcagua is the first game on the list. It is a point-and-click adventure game. You control a group of survivors of a plane crash. The aim is to guide the survivors safely through the area by solving puzzles using items that can be found along the way. This game is technically a weird entry. For those who don't know, Aconcagua is technically playable. The characters are fully voiced in English or their respective languages.
Hey Kato, maybe we should get the interview with Pachamama before we land.
So in a way, you can piece the game together and play it that way. The text, however, is in Japanese. It doesn't detract from the playability, but it would obviously be better if things were fully understandable for us gaijins, not only halfway through. I've heard how some solutions to problems were not that obvious and that the clue was in the text itself, but I can't confirm how common of an occurrence this is. Anyways, the game was apparently supposed to be released in North America in late 2000, but it never happened. I guess that explains why the game has English voice acting. Athena, Awakening from the Ordinary Life. Yes, it is that Athena from King of Fighters, not from Princess Athena. This is a 3D adventure game where Athena is a schoolgirl who discovers her psychic powers. This game reminds me of other 3D PS1 games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, since Athena also has tank controls and Dutch camera angles. Unlike Aconcagua, only the FMVs are voice acted, and even then, not all of them are in English. The intro had English voice acting
within parameters, but we have detected a high concentration of large neutrino particles.
But the subsequent ones that I experienced did not. I read online that the game mostly focuses on puzzle solving with your psychic powers and battling, and that the biggest selling point of the game is the story and CG animation. While the CG and in-game graphics do look impressive, it's obviously hard to experience the story. Trying it out for this video definitely made me feel that I was missing out on a lot of stuff, a major problem for a game that is story focused. I also heard that the game is a bit so-so, which in that case, I want to know if the game is a disappointment through my own eyes. Black Matrix Cross. It is a remake of the original Black Matrix on the Sega Saturn. It is a tactical RPG that borrows themes and topics from Judeo-Christian religions. The game is set in a world where the forces of hell won a decisive war against the forces of heaven, and have redesigned the world to suit their purpose. The best example being the reversal of the concepts of good and evil, where love is considered the worst crime. The game seems to lean on story and characters, and seems to have interesting battle mechanics and ways to progress the story. If I'm being honest, the reason why the game is on the list is because Black Matrix Zero, the GBA prequel, has its own fan translation. And as whiny and entitled as I'll sound, I think it's unfair that the first entry hasn't got its own yet. But after trying out the game and so far enjoying what it has to offer, it gave me another reason why to pine for a future translation patch. For now though, it seems like I'll be giving Black Matrix Zero a try. Maamedo no Kisetsu, or The Season of Mermaid. This is an obscure visual novel with almost little to no information about it. I'm not really sure if this game is well known in Japan or to hardcore visual novel fans. The best thing I can point out to gauge for popularity is the developer Game Village, who helped in publishing Ceaseware's Eve series. Anyways, the game is set in a near future Japan with technological advancements, but the living styles haven't changed much. Honestly, the game description sets it out to be an average romance visual novel, and it doesn't help that the presentation is also very similar to visual novels of its time or even in the late 90s. However, I am a sucker for visual novels, and some reviews that I miraculously found online makes it sound like a generic but buggy visual novel, or one that is at least worth a try, and I'm kinda leaning on the latter because biases. For the last item, I'm kind of cheating, because this is not a single game title, but rather a game series. The last item is Yarudora, specifically the first 4 titles. Yarudora is a visual novel series presented in full motion video or FMV. These games are developed by Sugar and Rockets and Production IG. The first 4 titles were released on the PS1, presumably using the same engine as they all have the same gameplay and presentation style. Here are the games. Double cast where the protagonist meets the amnesiac Mitsuki Akasaka and his ongoings in a film club. Kisetsuo Dakishimete, which is a love triangle between the protagonist, Tomoko, and an amnesiac girl that looks similar to his deceased high school crush. Sampaguita, where the protagonist meets the amnesiac Maria Santos and her relationship with certain groups of people. And Yukiwari no Hana, which focuses on the protagonist, his relationship with his neighbor Kaori Sakuragi, and her subsequent hospitalization. Despite overlapping themes, each story is of a different genre. For example, Double Cast is a suspense horror story, and Yukiwari no Hana is more of a J-drama. I really love the presentation of these games. It makes you feel like you're watching a slow-paced anime while still interacting. It makes you forget that you're playing a visual novel. What's even cooler is that apparently they have a replay mode which lets you watch a finished playthrough, further cementing my feelings on the presentation style. Honestly, these 4 are one of the main reasons why I decided to study Japanese months ago, because I'm not really sure if these games will ever have an English patch. I read somewhere that the translation is being handled by Iwakura Productions, but I haven't seen any news outside their Discord, so who knows. And I've already spoiled myself while doing research for this video, further making me want to play and actually understand them. And those are the games. For now at least. Like I said earlier, I don't have an extensive Japanese games collection. The ones I have on me either have English patches online, or I consider fully playable despite the language barrier. I obviously missed out on some games, so feel free to drop some in the comment section below. I would be happy to take a look at them and give them a chance. Who knows, maybe they get their own English patch someday. Until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hi there, if you like the content, please subscribe as it helps the channel. If you want to hear my thoughts on games or for channel updates, follow me on Twitter at KenAthomos. I also have a Ko-fi page if you want to further support the channel. Ko-fi support will be used to further improve the technical aspects of the channel. Thank you for the support. Take care!